Why, hello there.
Hi.
Why, top of the hello there.
That's pretty crazy to hear about 100-mile-per-hour winds, Bracken. That's pretty insane.
A yellow weather warning and winds of 100 miles per hour.
I don't know what a yellow weather warning is.
Miles. That's a lot.
Yeah. When I lived in Lethbridge, they got strong winds that were terrible. So but I don't think it ever reached that. There was one time it reached 100 kilometers per hour, and there were semis that were blown over on the highway. And I remember that day, it wasn't ever so bad in the city as it ever got on the highway. But that day, like walking down the hill to university, like I could literally like lean into the wind as much as I wanted, and I wouldn't fall over. I was just like...
At what wind level was that?
On the highways around Lethbridge, it got up to 100 kilometers an hour. But that's kilometers, not miles.
Kilometers. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know the highest level of wind I've been in, but that's insane.
It is sweater weather here, Deadweight. It's like,
Deadweight.
I don't know, it's kind of chilly, but nice, and it's nice out.
Violetta, Jason, Bracken, Deadweight, you guys, hello. There's a little poop man. Look at that. That little black thing is the strap from the grocery bag that he
likes as a headdress.
He loves so GD much. Oh, now.
Yellow means likely to damage property and heavy disruption to travel.
So, did he just do like a weird, like super lick and then go back to sleep?
Yeah, he like cleaned himself a bit, and then I guess he was like disgruntled by his dirtiness and had to clean himself to be.
That little fart master 5000. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know. Like a little over a week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We apologize. We've been busy. We had to go. He had doctor visit, and then I was very busy on the weekend processing zucchini. I processed like 15 cups of zucchini. I made some zucchini muffins, and then I made some tomato butter. And then yesterday I made a batch of paponate, which I didn't bake all the paponate, but I baked like some of the paponate. And I know you're like, what the fuck is this word that you're using, Krissy? Paponate is also known as pepper nuts or pfeffernuss.
Pfeffernuss?
It's like they're like little hard cookies. And they have like a bunch of spices like pepper in it, pepper and peppermint, and it's a Mennonite thing. I don't know, they're really good, but we ate like all the ones I made yesterday, so they're really hard, like little nuts,
little crispy,
thus pepper nuts,
little crispy pepper nuts.
Yeah.
I only say crispy because it's almost like the outer shell is harder than the inside. My kid's name is now legally Vincent.
Oh,
Vincent. It sounds. Vincent. I don't know why Vincent makes me think of a vampire, but
yeah,
Vincent.
Well, it's because
what was that dude?
The fucking sweet. He's the mustachioed man, Vincent Price.
Vincent Price. That's the one. With some weird ass middle name that I can't remember. Well. My middle name is weird, and I didn't. That's just what
it's not that weird. But...
Well, I mean, yeah. When I was growing up, it was a little weird. I'm not gonna say it. We don't say middle names here. That one's kind of like that one's a security answer somewhere for sure.
Yeah. You don't need to know that.
how's the weather been for everybody? Weather. So this is the most Saskatchewan.
That's the most. Yeah.
Haven't talked to you in 2 weeks. How's the weather been? Ours has turned from.
It's nice out though.
Oh, it's a sweater weather.
Oh yeah,
we love sweater weather.
I've been harvesting spicy peppers, and they're drying out.
Collecting leaves.
Yeah.
We have this thing. I don't know if you also are people with disabilities like me, but is this what it's called? I have this thing. Yeah, for sweeping the lawn. You know how most people like rake their leaves? Well, not in God's country.
We sweep it.
We don't rake leaves. We sweep it. So this is called the Sweep It. Yes, it is an American lawnmower co. I'm a trader. But yeah, it's this little thing. I can't remember how much it was when we were bought it. Or 3.5, it deserves way higher than that.
Absolutely way higher than that. How much is it now on here? Scroll down.
It's currently unavailable. This thing's got an easy detach bag, 21-inch sweep.
Hey, Danny.
Guten Morgen. Hello, Danny. This is how I rake the leaves.
It's actually really awesome. I like using it too. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Therapeutic. Therapeutic. In a sense of like it's cool to watch. But yeah, for me, like raking and stuff like that is really hard.
Yeah.
Assembly? What do you don't assemble it? I mean, I guess kind of.
There's the demo and review. The second video, yeah.
Demo and review.
We use it for leaves, and it's pretty sweet because you can see the path that it sweeps up.
Yeah, it also picks up a lot of sticks and stuff.
Yeah. You should put this shit on fast forward because I
Can
feel
you guys
like
even hear that?
For a minute and 38 seconds, it's gonna feel like a really long minute and 38 seconds. You should definitely get one. Okay, if you have yard work and you like have to rake your yard, but you want to save your back a little bit, and you just like you want to make it feel like you're just kind of nicely like walking along on your lawn, this is the item for you. Not sponsored, by the way, obviously.
Yeah, most def not
sponsored. This is just, we've had one of these for years and we really like it. It's a great item.
After mowing a lawn, so I'm going to show this in action, but just
this guy's picking up the stuff after mowing, which is nepa.
We don't care about that.
We leave that to feed the rest of
We're just picking up the leaves right now. We wanted to look a little tidy. Especially because the mole problem has gotten really fucking bad.
Yeah, moles.
First, some information about how to adjust.
I hate to admit it. I've emotionally gotten to the point where I'm like, put fucking soap in those holes. I don't care.
Yeah, soap does some. Apparently, the surfactant on dish soap makes moles skin like fall off.
Yeah. That's I hate it.
Bueno.
It makes me feel like a real bad person.
If it's not ticks, it's moles. Yeah. Well, what we found out though is, remember how we were saying like, how the hell did the moles get in our yard without being anywhere else? They were other places.
Yeah.
They were in the old.
So, there's a community hall kind of right beside us, and the people who own it have, like, they don't live in the area here, but they haven't been taking care of the property, and so we didn't realize that in the front area near, like, this huge historical sign, the moles had moved in and amongst all the fucking weeds. And that's, like, maybe 50 yards from our front, like our driveway. So yeah, if they're only like 50 yards from our front driveway, of course they're going to be like, oh, look at this beautiful thermal mound. Just move in.
Yeah. Well, we'll check. I haven't looked. Krissy went and looked, and apparently they were back at it. But
I'm so angry.
I'll tell the neighbor.
Because it's our driveway.
The neighbor has I took the nice dirt, though, that they excavated, and I put it back on top of the driveway. But the neighbor, they got some traps and stuff.
Yeah.
They do things. I was hoping that if they were to trap and get rid of the mole problem, it would have been when we were gone. But unfortunately, moles have babies every 4 weeks. Damn it, they're
Fuck moles.
They're like cute though.
They thing are cute. That's the thing, and that's
do they hibernate?
Probably. I don't know what they do. They obviously survive in the winter somehow. And I think, like I said, our driveway is a beautiful thermal mound.
Moles do not hibernate. It may seem like moles go into hibernation winter because you may not notice them until the weather warms up, but moles remain active all winter long. They simply dig down deeper into the earth during the colder months.
Fuckers.
Because I was hoping winter would kill them, but they're just going to keep going down. Yeah, they'll go down below the frost line. And here where we are, say you're installing a water or a sewer line, it has to be at least 8 feet to 10 feet deep.
So that must be how deep they go.
Yeah, or else the frost can settle that far. Otherwise, the water doesn't freeze. So
I have like deep annoyance about
so we might have to figure this out before
we might
it gets
have to
cold.
do the fucking dish soap thing, and it pains me to say it. I hate it. I hate that it's resorted to the point where I'm like, yeah, let their skin melt from the dish soap surfactant. I've gotten past it. I've gotten past. It makes me feel so bad. I never thought I would get to this point. But fuck those moles.
Fuck those moles. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out, I guess. I was hoping winter would murder them, as winter murders all things. Philip, how in the dirtily doodads are you, my friend? I hope you've been well. I hope everyone's been doing good. You go deep enough, you find the lava, according to Minecraft.
I'm not going to actually fuck a mole. Don't worry about that, Jason. I mean more like those moles can get fucked.
Okay. This
in
is
like a non-sex way.
We had a great time in Italy and Rome. A tomato sauce. How was it, bud? Did you take any good pics? This is the thing we use to collect leaves, by the way.
Sweep in stuff as you move.
Yeah, okay. It has these things with plastic tines.
He's doing a terrible job showing how awesome this thing is. You need to show it with like leaves on the ground.
But it picks it up pretty easily.
Pretty easily? What are you doing? Pushing it so hard.
So I'll give you as you see this, I'm just gonna pause.
Okay, this guy's got trauma.
Yeah, this
guy had
sucks.
brain trauma. Let's try this guy.
If we showed you with
Hello,
leaves,
Zayden
it would be
with
good.
Jinjee Landscapers. I'm making this video today to actually review a product that I bought off of Amazon. Now I went over here in the front and I
Oops.
Oh.
Come on, bro.
first I had it set up on what I thought was low.
Oh yeah, what do you have it set
I mean,
on?
I already kind of cleaned a little bit, so you're not gonna see a whole lot.
This is like the most boring
gonna
shit
push
we could
over
be
whatever
showing
I
them.
see.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I know. I was just
right
showing
here.
him. Either way, that's
It's a sweet thing.
Yeah, we got a lot of leaves.
Yeah.
That's what we use to pick up leaves. It works way better than those
Sorry that the
people.
ADHD brain of both of us took you down like a weird little tangent.
Woo, woo, ADHD brain.
If you got yard work, you should probably get one of those.
Yeah, if you got bad back. Otherwise, get to raking.
Yeah.
It's the city is a dump, but the main features, the Colosseum, the Trevi Fountain, I don't know what that is, were amazing.
I understand
that. The Enzo restaurant and had the best pasta primavera.
When I was in Egypt, it was also like, this is so gross. It was like the grossest city I've ever been in. But pyramids were cool. Sphinx was cool. But it was fucking gross.
The Sphinx there?
Yeah.
Was that really quiet?
I don't know.
Yeah, the Colosseum, Krissy informed me, was made for boat fighting?
Well, like,
Or
they used to flood it and have boat fights in there. In the Colosseum. Way back in the day. way long time ago.
I mean, that in itself is a feat of nature to do such a thing with aqueducts. Is Jinjee back in his spot?
Not yet,
He is not.
Oh, he's coming to my lap.
Oh,
Hi.
let's see.
Aw.
Flooding the Roman Colosseum. Emperor Titus ordered the new Colosseum to be flooded. They used the special flat-bottom ships during the battle. So it was kind of like that American Gladiator with hidden little like canoes, but more like warships.
They would have naval battles in the Colosseum, which that's kind of cool, I guess.
Hi, Jumbo.
They used to do that. Oh, he's so sweet.
Flat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round.
What else is new? Oh, the Speaker of the House of Commons has resigned in Canada because he big dum-dum.
Yeah,
and
you guys probably seen that.
Yeah, it's he invited like a
Nazi
to come speak. A 98-year-old Nazi, and now Poland is taking steps to extradite him.
Yeah, Canada like, funked up big time.
Why did you do that? It's kind of like at the Sass Party dinner when they invited Colin Thatcher to the dinner, and it's like, why the fuck would you invite Colin Thatcher and like an accused like convicted murderer?
Yeah, this apparently, from what I've read, I mean, it's going to be one of those things where basically, because it's the Liberal government, you know, the Conservatives will, you know, really hammer into it. I mean, it's a terrible thing, don't get me wrong. But basically, only the one person was really aware of what was happening, I guess. The Speaker of the House of Commons, who let this guy speak, and then everybody else was like, oh, okay, this guy's speaking, thank you. Thank you.
Because he was invited because they like thought like he was like a Ukrainian veteran.
Yeah.
But it turns out he was part of like a voluntary SS group. Which it's like, it wasn't even like the Germans invaded and were like, you need to be part of the Nazis. It was fucking voluntary SS. So.
Yeah. Real bad. Poland did Nazi. Poland did Nazi that coming, otherwise they wouldn't have invited them. I mean,
he's just making a pun. He's being punny. Punny.
I don't get the pun. Why was it?
You did Nazi that coming?
Okay. I that's just how daft I am. One of the reasons we haven't been streaming is there's been changes to my medication. Everybody's favorite thing. It's like the video game you can't put down. And so I've just been a little bit more tired in the mornings. I just kind of, I don't know, it's a side effect of it, drowsiness and stuff, until that changes. And then I'll have some more med changes.
Don't they want to do like
they want to give me a dosage of a particular medication that isn't normally given. So I have to get like ECG and stuff on my heart to make sure that it doesn't give me like arrhythmia and stuff like that. And god damn it, I hate, like, the infliction is generally as bad as the cure.
Yeah.
In some sense, I mean, not like a broken leg and like a cast are different, but I mean, like, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, hey, we'll give you this medication that'll help this while giving you this, and this. And it's like, oh, awesome. This is fantastic.
You know, maybe this would be a good time to open up the conversation. Remember when we had that, like, it was a pretty heated debate about, like, if we could know what we would, like, die from, like, if we were to get a potential illness in the future, if we could know, would we want to know? And I was very much on the side of like, I don't want to know, it serves me no purpose. And you're like, no, but I would want to know. And I think each are valid opinions to have, but for us it was very heated on, like, you know, which side we would, like, you know, I very much don't want to know and you very much want to know. And I'm just kind of curious, like, you know, oh, hi, Jinjee.
Oh, hi, Jinjee.
Everyone
my balls.
Watching right now in chat, what you would think.
Like, I would like to know, mainly because of, I don't know, preventative measures.
Well, I mean, some things that have preventative measures, but a lot of things don't have preventative measures, right? I just hope I don't die while I'm masturbating or shitting, because I'd feel bad for anyone walking in on that. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know. It would serve me, like, Like, to know
I
that...
love it. But, like, so if you knew that, like, your back was going to give out, maybe you'd be like, okay, I'm going to go mountain climbing now because I won't be able to.
But I'm also not someone who wants to go mountain climbing.
Well, I know, but maybe you want to... You currently have that opportunity if you want to, and you will not have that opportunity.
But then, like, you know, that's kind of on you that you're, like, not living the life you want, regardless of knowing how you're going to die. You should, if it takes, you know, knowing that my back's going to give out one day, which I mean is pretty plausible given, like, you know, my familial history and also how my back is in general. If I'm living my life knowing that one day I'm going to get this thing versus, like, just living my life how I want, it's like the whole argument that you need religion to be good. That if it wasn't for religion, I would be out, like, doing drugs and having sex with people. Right?
I guess there has to be certain criteria in this situation in a sense of, like, I don't know, what are we talking about here? Like winning the lottery or illnesses or death all this whole spectrum or some of the spectrum?
We're talking about, like, if we could know what kind of illness we would get. That was the whole conversation we had originally been having.
Yeah, but what if the illness is caused by something you're doing that you don't know? Like mesothelioma, you're working in an asbestos factory. No, but then that
wouldn't necessarily show up in a DNA test.
It doesn't matter.
No, but that's what we're talking, because we had originally been talking about, like, taking a DNA test and, like, it showing up, like, that you will more than likely get, like, MS when you're older, right?
I thought we were talking about if we literally could know the future.
No. Oh. That was never the conversation.
Well, then, I mean, more information is better in that sense. Why wouldn't you want to know if your great-grandma had breast cancer?
No, like, okay, yeah, obviously, but, like, I mean, like, that...
Sorry, I thought, like, someone was, like crystal ball, this is what's going to happen in the future.
We were talking about, like, you know, with those, like, certain, like, you can get certain tests and, like, or, like...
Yeah, like if, say, for instance, they can do that one to test a baby during pregnancy if it will be born with specific diseases?
Down syndrome, yeah. So my mom got that test with me, and there was, like, actually a 50% chance it could have aborted me as a fetus. Which, I mean, whatever. I wouldn't have then known this experience as Krissy anyway, so that's fine.
Jason,
ain't no skin off my back.
Jason makes a good point, though, that is kind of like a human nature thing. Even though we know something bad is coming, our brains don't always fixate on it, unless, you know, some people's do. But, like, Jason, say his family might know his whole family has heart disease, and he's like, c'est la vie.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if he knows.
So why would I get the test then to know? And, like, if I can do the things in my life that I can try to mitigate it, but there's no reason to.
Yeah, Jason might avoid significant amounts of salt.
Yeah,
which will give him more years on the planet.
That's what I just say, doing certain things to mitigate it.
Yeah, but you generally would figure that out from getting tested. You don't know if or
you could just do it because it's good for your health anyways. You don't need to get tested to do things that are good for your health. That's like I was saying, like, if you need religion to, like, not go out and be, like, fucking people and doing drugs, then that's kind of, like, silly on you, right? It's the same kind of argument.
I'm not sure where you're coming from exactly, because I think that everybody on the planet Earth would like to know what their ancestral potential for certain diseases is. I think everybody in chat has some of that knowledge. You know what I mean? Every single person in chat, tell me you don't have a father, a mother, an auntie, an uncle, a grandma, a great-grandma.
I'm not saying don't take stock of your family heritage. I'm not saying that. Take that all into account. Absolutely. I'm saying that I don't personally necessarily want to go get tested so that I know I'm going to get it. You know, like I can live with the knowledge being like, okay, yeah, a lot of people in my family have gotten these things, so I can take the steps in my life to try to mitigate it. But I'm not going to go get the test to confirm that I'm going to get it, because that will serve me no purpose other than making me have a shitload of anxiety about it. If I just live my life knowing that, like, okay, yeah, these things run in my family, so I need to live like in a way that's like a bit more healthy. I think we're trying to make the same argument, but you're just like not understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think so.
I think you just want to have the test versus I would not want to have the test. Well, it depends
on what it is, though. The severity of what I'm concerned about. If it's gluten allergy, well, I'll figure it out by eating gluten. It'll make me feel like shit, so maybe I'll stop eating gluten. But if it's like, multiple sclerosis or something, and there, you know what I mean? The situation also changes for people who are considering having children, because you need to know these things. It's unconscionable to knowingly pass a potential terrible disease on to children, isn't it?
Why is that? If you're gonna put it on a person that's like, okay, you have this disease, therefore you should never have children.
Well, I just mean the likelihood. Then you're getting
into the whole argument of eugenics and taking away a human's free will to have children. Like,
no, I'm saying you should want to know.
They might not necessarily pass it on.
Why wouldn't?
Then you're living your life in a state of fear because, like, oh my god, I might get MS when I'm old.
Well, you don't have to be fearful of knowing things. Like, you know that you could get into a car accident, but you still drive. You know what I mean? It doesn't put extra anxiety on the situation. You could know that there's a likelihood that I could develop rheumatoid arthritis in my 50s, and just keep it in my mind, and it doesn't ruin my life to know that it could happen. The difference between us...
Yeah, but you don't need the test to know it. Like, if it runs in your family...
But
then it's
fundamentally,
like, okay.
This is an agree to disagree, because I have terrible anxiety and panic disorder. I want to know things. You don't have the same chemistry as me, so you're fine with not knowing things.
And that's what I said right off the bat when we first started discussing this.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I guess I forgot.
I said both are valid points.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't want to know, because it would serve me absolutely no purpose. I can still try to live my life in a way that's like healthy, but like some people want to know and some people don't. I don't want to know because it would cause me anxiety to know. And for you, with your anxiety, you would want to know.
Yeah, I guess my anxiety and fear of here, Jinjee, sorry, no camera. My anxiety and fear of the unknown is more powerful than my anxiety of the known.
And I guess the fear of like everything is unknown, right? Like the only thing in life, like I always say, the only things in life that are certain is the uncertainty of life itself and death.
Yeah, I know these things. Again, just with how I am wired, I could tell myself that until the cows come home, but I won't. It'll still happen. I'll still be the same person inside because of my issues.
So that's why we have like fundamentally opposing views on like whether or not we would want to know if we would get like sick from something.
We have this thing where it'll tell you your kind of, not your entire medical history, but in the province, like you can log in and it tells you like your test results and all that kind of shit. And the amount of doctor's visits and stuff on my file goes back to like when I was a kid. And let's just say if I grew up in America, my family would have been even more poor because I was at the doctor like every month.
Yeah.
And like, so talking with my mom this weekend when we were in Moose Jaw, I kind of realized a little bit more just like, cause I always thought I had an idea when my anxiety got worse. But then just from talking and stuff, it's like, holy shit, it was actually started happening way earlier. It's just when we were growing up, it wasn't something, it was more of that, no, you're fine, than it was, why do they keep bringing this up? But yeah, it's interesting. I always say we like to think that we are in, complete command of our own ship. But there's things from our family or genetics that really play a huge, unchangeable impact in what we're like in some ways. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But yeah, we had been just picking stuff up, getting grocery items, kind of getting things a little more fall oriented around here, picking up leaves. And then just being tired from med changes.
We should probably look at comments because there's some pretty good comments if you scroll up a little bit.
Jason, we're all gonna die anyways.
Scroll up. Yeah. Violet said, I don't want to know, but I'll probably know how I will anyway. So it's like, yeah, you don't necessarily have to know, but you can look at your like familial history and be like, these are definite probabilities for my life and potential. Well,
yeah, but no.
Like, unless, like, something terrible were to happen, like some sort of accident, which, I mean, that's, like,
I do.
But she also mentioned she already went through cancer once, so that, so there's that probability. The other is Parkinson's.
I have migraines do brain damage because I have tons of migraines since I was a kid too.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense.
Mine is either going to be like probably a heart attack or cancer.
I think it's overall better knowing for a multitude of reasons. And that's coming from Jason.
Yeah.
And he's the champion of the spelling bee.
I hope I have a heart attack. Because it'd be quick, more or less. Like my dad and my grandma on my dad's side and my grandpa on my mom's side all died of a heart attack, and it was all very quick. My grandpa on my mom's side, he was curling and he threw his first rock and had a big massive heart attack on the ice and died. And then my grandma on my dad's side just like had a big massive heart attack in her apartment when she was old. And my dad also had just like a big massive heart attack in his apartment when he was old. And then cancer is what took my other two. No. My other grandma, my grandma on my mom's side, she had cancer but survived it, had a heart attack in bed while she was sleeping for a nap.
Yeah. So
one grandparent died of cancer. I'm more than likely going to have heart issues. That's what's going to take me.
I don't know. My vital organs are... What'll probably kill me is medication. Will give me some kind of mutation of my organs or some shit. But, because, like, my internal organs are fine. It's the structure that holds it up. Like, having a building with good things inside of it, but the building is made out of garbage. Dead weight Nate didn't realize I was depressed and anxious as a teenager until I was in my 20s and I got medicated. Then I realized I'd been that way for years. Yeah, I just started thinking about, how young I was when I started complaining about a lump in my throat, and stuff that now is, very atypical of somebody at a younger age saying they're having anxiety problems. But hopefully the next generation it's picked up a little quicker or whatever than the rest of us. But if something really bad was to happen to me, I know that within a simple phone call, we could have somebody here to pick up my DNA. So I could
not
live
this
on.
kind of DNA though.
So I could live on.
I don't know how they're gonna extract this kind of DNA from your dead corpse.
You just gotta milk it. Because
Not from your dead body.
this is actually quite an old article. I do not remember what the hell we were watching, but we found out that Denmark has a portable sperm bike.
I think we were watching something about weird bikes, to be honest.
I can't remember. It's called the Copenhagen. I don't know how. Sorry about that. Let's see. Thanks, Robo.
Sure.
He recently blogged about a sperm bike. So this is the Nordisk Cryobank, which is a European sperm bank, is able to transport sperm samples between fertility clinics in Copenhagen using the sperm bike. And I don't know if I'd want to be the one riding it. No? Or driving it around?
I mean, if it's a common sight in your neighborhood, then there's no shame. They're doing the Lord's work.
Hey, Phil. It's a great publicity. It's always looking for new donors. Like, what if somebody's like, hey, come over here, bud. Bring your bike around back. Like, what is he
just a white tadpole, yeah.
He probably has like a privacy curtain and it's just like a lid pops off the top
Or maybe
something.
you just like, they give you a cup and you go in your bathroom and do your business and then give them the cup with the sample and they go about their way. I don't know.
I just thought it was, can't get those photos, I guess.
Oh, that's fine.
I just thought it was crazy.
Like, power blippage, like 15 minutes before we started.
Right before we started streaming, everything was bloop, bloop. But you know, we're still here. We're still partying.
Yeah,
we got the
right.
margaritas. They're surprisingly, outside of Canada being a diarrhea palace for the news, there wasn't a lot of other stuff going on. I mean,
there's always stuff going on. But...
I will say the issue that Canada's having with India is significantly different than the inviting a Polish Nazi, ex-Nazi, to speak.
The whole India thing, not so great.
Yeah, apparently there's a we won't get too far into the weeds because there's a lot of religious or cultural divide between the person who was allegedly assassinated by the Indian government's orders.
He was kind of the leader of a Sikh community. And
that wants
he advocated for their own like nation of Khalistan, I think was the name of what he like advocated for.
How did I spell that right?
And he was murdered here in Canada, and I do believe at this point, like by this point, he was a Canadian citizen. But he still, like I said, advocated for like this Khalistan independent Sikh nation. And
it was threatening India.
I don't know.
They felt threatened.
I'm assuming India felt threatened because basically what it would include would a chunk of what would be part of Indian, like the country of India, would have to break off and become Khalistan. So it would ultimately be like, you know, if anything, India protecting Indian territory. So allegedly, the people who assassinated this person, was sent over. Allegedly, is the theory that it was part of the Indian government that sent the assassins, and that's allegedly what that is what Justin Trudeau is asserting.
There is also apparently with American intelligence, they like it's pretty much like they didn't just like say we're gonna throw accusations at India. There was evidence to back up what is alleged. And but so I can understand. I mean, regardless of religious, cultural, whatever. Oh, internet went down for a sec. let's just give it one.
There's American intelligence.
Regardless
AI
of all of those aspects of things, one country cannot assassinate someone in another country because they want to. That's a bad news bears.
Yeah, that's like, don't do that.
You can't do that.
Assassinating people in general is not good.
So yeah, I mean, that one's fine. But the Polish Nazi thing, that's not fine.
Yeah.
That's just do your obviously
do a little diligence.
If
and
someone
look up
was
the people
able to
you're
find out
inviting
what they
to
found
speak.
out about him,
It's clearly
you could have.
Yeah.
But
I mean, a lot of these people exist here in Canada, and a lot of them they exist all over the world. After the war, they just kind of some of them just moved off into places and lived a life of obscurity. Most of them have died. This man's made it to 98 years old. Don't
somehow.
Fucking know how.
There's
Yeah.
quite a few of these fuckers that have lived long lives. I hope I'm ass. Oh my God, girl. Whoa. Mistakes are made though. Sometimes you just do something because someone told you to do it, and for the rest of your life it bothers you. And one person who can
it might be May.
it's gonna be May. So this is just another stupid news story. Justin Timberlake, I hate wins the internet. It's such a But basically, this TikTok came out.
What's a word you pronounced incorrectly one time and it still haunts you to this day?
Me.
So the whole thing is about how obviously it's going to be me. What song is that by NSYNC?
It's gonna be me.
Is that what it's called? It's
No.
going to be me? I can't remember.
What can I do that for you?
But it's gonna be May is obviously everybody knows that lyric or whatever. So I guess at the start of the month of May it triggers him. It haunts
I honestly
him.
can't remember the name of the fucking song now.
It's gonna be May. And a bunch of people are commenting too bad for you. It's gonna be May. It's always been May.
Maybe it is called that. I don't know. Can somebody please tell us the name of the fucking song? Because I can't remember.
It's gonna be May. Yeah, it's called It's Gonna Be Me. The hit single, It's Gonna Be Me.
Okay.
So the funny thing about that is NSYNC was also on Hot Ones.
Yeah, it was good.
And we
enjoyed
got even a little bit more context for this, where apparently the writers of the song were Swedish.
Or the producers, yeah.
And they were because he would say, it's gonna be me. And they're like, no, that's wrong.
You're saying the word wrong.
You have to say it like it is. Sorry, that's how.
And so because of their broken English.
Say, it's gonna be May.
May.
And so he's like, fine, I'll just do it. It's gonna be May. And they're like, that's the one. Move on. And now for the rest of his life, it's gonna probably end up without his permission on his tombstone. You know what I mean? Fuck, someone's gonna go in with a Sharpie.
It's gonna be May.
What happens if he passes away in May? Oh no!
It's gonna be May.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's gotta be May.
Oh no! I get. Krissy looked at the clip on the screen and it was like Inception. We'll have to look back on that. I get words mixed up. Umbrella and balloon is a big one. For some reason, I always get them wrong. But it's raining. Take your balloon, or do you want me to inflate your umbrella? How often are you asking to inflate people's balloons?
One word or some words that I get wrong a lot, and this is really inconvenient, especially when giving directions, is left and right. So I always get left correct, but I sometimes will call right a left. So I've gotten to the point where if I actually mean left, I say a hard left. And if I mean right, I say a loose left.
A loose Larry.
A loose left is a right, and a hard left is a left.
I mean, directions are important.
You're going to take a loose left here.
Would you say directions are important?
Yeah, absolutely.
Google.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah. Google is learning the power of directions.
Yeah.
A man was Google's being sued by a man's family because it told him to take the directions over a bridge that had collapsed years earlier.
And it was like dark when he went, so he like fucking drove into a chasm and died.
Yeah, so
maybe not like a chasm, but like a deep ravine.
He drove his car off of a collapsed bridge following Google Maps' directions. And it's a lawsuit of negligence claiming that people had informed Google that bridge is not something that you can take. So his Jeep Gladiator, I didn't even know that was a vehicle, plunged into Snow Creek in Hickory, which is North Carolina, I assume, because he's a North Carolinian man. And our girls asked how and why their daddy died, and I'm at a loss for words. They can't understand because, as an adult, I still can't understand how those responsible for GPS directions and the bridge could have acted with so little regard for human life.
So that's another question. Why were there no like cement barriers up in front of like the entrance to the bridge? So like I know in Moose Jaw there's some condemned bridges like in Waccamaw, right? Yeah. And there's cement barriers, so you literally can't fucking drive over them or like through that area. Why is there no fucking cement barriers here?
Absolutely. State troopers who found Paxton's body in his overturned, partially submerged truck said there were no barriers or warning signs along the washed out roadway, that he had driven off an unguarded edge and crashed about 7 meters.
I just don't get it. This makes no sense.
Yeah. Multiple people had notified Google Maps about the collapse over the years leading up to Paxton's death and had urged the company to update its route information. So this is interesting in a sense of liability. It's terrible. It's not interesting because of what happened, but if you...
Yeah, the county or the city should have put up a barrier.
Yeah, like Pluvio says, you can read something that tells you to do something, but there should be something preventing you from doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you don't have a sign up that says don't walk into this construction site and I walk into it, you know what I mean? Mm. But if you, it's all like, I don't think they're going to win in a sense that
I would try to sue the county or the city or township or whatever.
That's where I would actually start.
Yeah.
Chances are a lawyer of sorts told them they're more likely to get a lot more money out of Google than say a county or something like that. But it's terrible. At least none of it would avoid any of what's left financially for his family, like his insurance and stuff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like generally certain times, depending on how you pass away, insurance and stuff is called into question.
Okay.
I don't know. Sorry.
That's a weird plus in this situation.
Well, yeah, not a plus, but like, yeah, I don't know. They probably get millions of updates. Yeah, and that's kind of the thing I was thinking, Jason, is like, there's a lot of roads. Even in where we are, there's actually, where I used to drive, the area I drove when I worked, there was a washed out road that it would tell you to take. And one time I drove on that road and got to a point where it was submerged underwater for like 2 kilometers. And I was like, well, guess I have to turn around. But it was broad daylight. So Yeah, it's interesting. I would say Google Maps is more of a reference service than a direct. You know what I'm trying to say?
Like I said, there should have been cement barriers along there, so there's no way you could have turned into it.
Yeah, there's honestly one of the...
you would have driven into cement.
It is...
And torn off your wheels.
Oh, yeah. If you smashed into one of those, I think they call them Jersey barriers where we are. I don't know why. Specifically, yeah. The big cement barriers, concrete barriers. Finding routes is one of the most classic examples of literally impossible to solve problems computationally. We can make good guesses. Yeah, absolutely. One of the most dangerous things any of us typically do in our lives in a given day is drive, right? It's the one thing we all do that can go sideways at any time. I didn't necessarily plan this segue or anything, but there was an accident here close to where we are several years ago where a semi collided with a bus of hockey players, and
you might have heard of it. It was all over
the Humboldt Broncos crash, and dozens of people died.
Like young... It was sad because it was like a young
high school
aged hockey team,
and it was really big all over the world. The person who was accountable for the accident is being
I think he's being
deported.
Does he serve his whole sentence first though, and then really is he deported? I don't know how that works, but
yeah.
I do feel weirdly enough, I do feel bad for him. Because obviously he didn't start his day off with the intention to do what he did. It was a very terrible tragedy. And you can tell he's definitely taken full accountability for all of his actions. And so I don't know, it does make you feel compassion for him.
So I just brought up an article here. So 16 people were passed away, and it looks like they might get to stay to fight their deportation. Federal court agreed this week to review a Canada Border Services Agency's decision to send
Jaskarat Singh Sidhu
his case to the government tribunal for an inadmissibility hearing that would have taken him one step closer to being deported. So basically, it does look like a higher court is looking over the decision. He pled guilty to all 16 counts of dangerous operation of a motor vehicle causing death and another 13 counts causing bodily injury. He was sentenced to 8 years in jail and released on day parole last summer. I didn't know that.
So 8 years, because they were coming up on 5 years now that the accident happened. So he's only 3 years away from the end of his sentence. So yeah, of course they would have him out on parole for sure. Because he's also not a high risk to reoffend.
Yeah, I mean, he's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, that's where he's at.
But anyway, fuck him.
One of the individuals
who survived,
Ty Smith, who survived, was on
the
Amazing Race Canada, and they won.
I never really watched this show or ever got into the show, but congrats for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Same. I had watched it when it first started coming out, and then it was kind of like,
you love showing me the watermelon clip, but I cannot.
Where that one chick gets the watermelon slingshot in the face? Holy balls.
Oh, it just hurts me.
I've watched boxing matches where people take less smashes to the dome.
Hurts me.
And the winner is... Oh, they're all waiting at the finish line. I forgot how the show works.
I've never watched the show, so I don't know.
So they're coming around the bend. I think at the end it's two people against each other.
Okay.
But
good for them.
Yeah, it was just kind of I had seen it come up. Basically, it was kind of a happy story, I guess, that going through such a terrible thing and still, you know, finding the courage to carry on. And you know, they said a lot of nice things for, you know, basically how they did it. It was kind of for the community and of people that have been affected by what happened, and good. I'm just glad they won.
Yeah.
There is, what else we got here? So there was the bridge.
I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Sophie Turner suing Joe Jonas amidst their divorce proceedings because she's alleging that he's abducted the children because they're supposed to be in their permanent home in England. Also, Sophie Turner was seen going out to dinner with Taylor Swift because people know that Taylor Swift fans go hard. So because Taylor Swift has dated Joe Jonas in the past, and one of her songs is about him and their relationship, now they can, you know, hang out together and talk about how Joe Jonas sucks. I don't know. There's your Taylor Swift update.
Yeah, people are obsessed with Taylor Swift.
It's weird. It's so weird.
There's like Taylor Swift, and then there's like the Pope.
Yeah. I will say, before we get into this, another thing about Taylor Swift that I just found this really fucking weird. So she's dating this football player. Please excuse me. I don't know fucking dick all about sports because I could care less. So she's dating this football player, Travis Kelce?
Yeah, I don't know NFL
Anyway,
stuff.
She's dating this sportsman. And I guess she was at one of his games the other day. And she
Take care, Jason.
happened to be sitting next to the mother of this man because they're obviously dating, whatever. Like, sit next to his mom. Be nice. And so anyways, there's this like meme going around of the mom. I believe her name is Donna. And it says, what a hat trick, Donna. 2 sons in the NFL and a potential daughter-in-law who's a 12-time Grammy winner. And I'm just like, these people literally just started fucking dating. Like, that's a lot of projection on these people's relationships. Like, if you want to ensure that poor Taylor Swift is single for the rest of her fucking life, it's by doing shit like that. That shit is so fucking weird. Like, it's so weird.
Everyone's worried that some shady person like Elon Musk or someone is going to create the new world order.
He's trying to steal your
But
spot.
if Taylor Swift ran for the president of the world tomorrow, she would win. And then she could do no wrong. Do you hold that for 1 second? Thanks. You know what I mean? If she was like, I'm going to run for the head of the UN, and people would be like, yeah, absolutely. Woo, Taylor.
Like, I'm sure she's a great person. She also likes cats. So that to me tells me she at least is a cat person. And that's, I think, a good trait to have. But that's all I know.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of her music. I'm also not a fan of her
Yeah,
music.
it's just, I don't know. It's not on the radio stations we
Yeah.
listen to.
Yeah.
The internet's pretty up and down lately, or today. Big crash right now. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. The yawners.
Sorry.
Oh, I think it's a little overcast. Yeah, she's basically in the petition. It says that he has them wrongfully. He has wrongful retention of their children in New York City, from their habitual residence in England. It just sounds dickish. Like, you have my children who are British and they're not in Britain. It's bullshit. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess after,
You don't fuck with Sansa Stark.
yeah, I guess after that was found out. I mean, this is TMZ, but I mean it's a picture, so I guess you know. But yeah, she's hours after dropping that lawsuit. Mommy time, hanging out, getting, I don't even know what that is. It looks like poster board or something. I don't even know how people. I would if I guarantee I've seen people that look like her in public. I would have never walked up and said, "Excuse me, are you Sansa Stark?" You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't look like the person that I would only
like
really know from
street.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Just looks like a person.
Like, I might be like, oh, that person looks a little bit like Sansa Stark, but not to the point where I'd be, like, convinced of it and then taking pictures of them. But I also believe that people kind of deserve their own privacy to a certain extent.
Kind of.
It's a giant bag of
honestly,
cocaine.
I've seen like 1,000 people that look like him too. I think I seen someone yesterday at the home store. The fucking that looked like him. But yeah, it is interesting. I would hate to be followed around. The smartest person was, who is it? Daniel Radcliffe wore the same thing all the time, so that they couldn't get multiple pictures of him.
They just thought this like same picture on he wore the same shirt, and so it looked like they were just taking multiple photos on the same day. It just kind of lessened the value of his photos, which is smart.
Couple other things. We got our buddy that we talked about last time.
Our buddy?
Our best friend.
Don't ever, not at all.
Russell Brand. The person that I don't think anybody's actually surprised that this, it's come out that he was sexually assaulting people, and further down that spectrum of evil, with the words that you can imagine. But so YouTube demonetized him. Like the UK Parliament said, like, okay, like what we've seen is enough to demonetize him.
These are very serious allegations that are laid against him.
And then Rumble came out and actually said, no, we don't think that we're going to do anything about it. They said basically that the CEO of Rumble explained that because they're sexual assault allegations, he hasn't been proven to be guilty, that their constitutional values of free speech are
values of free speech, like
what they said was, I believe
these people's thinking is just so
the
backwards.
CEO of Rumble said, what the fuck? I'm not even clicking on it. The attacks on Rumble are relentless from all angles and accelerating. Having the support of the people I defend, to defend what's right, constitutional values, is all I need to keep taking the punches and moving forward. I can never thank our supporters enough for getting behind us. So I can only imagine the supporters of Rumble are, I don't know, fucking old white people like Warren
what
Buffett.
Pisses me off the most is like ultimately they don't care about women like being SA'd or R-worded. It's just like, you know, I need to be able to like say free speech. Like, I don't care what's happened to you, free speech. That's what it feels like. So
this is actually the letter from the House of Commons in London to the CEO of Rumble. They're writing with concern about Russell Brand and his 1.4 million followers on Rumble. And basically, however, we are also looking at his use of social media, including on Rumble, where he issued his preemptive response to the accusations made against him by the Sunday Times and Channel 4 dispatches. While we recognize that Rumble is not the creator of the content published by Mr. Brand, we are concerned that he may be able to profit from his content on the platform. Can you confirm? We would be grateful if you could confirm whether Mr. Brand is able to monetize his content, including his videos relating to the serious accusation against him. If so, we would like to know whether Rumble intends to join YouTube in suspending Mr. Brand's ability to earn money on the platform. Interesting. I guess I didn't think that a government agency would do that.
I mean, well, I think and correct me because I'm more than likely wrong. Like Channel 4 and BBC and all that kind of stuff, Sky Net or Sky News or whatever, like here in Canada, those are how we have like CBC, and it's all kind of government owned and controlled media. I would assume in England it's all very like high government control. That's why like they have so much like taxation on like TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would assume that culture, media, and sports. So
Committee. The chair of the committee.
She's probably reaching out in regards to like they can it must be like some sort of different law in regards to like culture and media.
The last line says
in regards to collecting payment.
They want to make sure that creators aren't able to use the platform to undermine the welfare of victims of inappropriate and potential illegal behavior. So it is interesting in a sense that he technically hasn't been found guilty.
Yeah, it's all just allegations at this point.
But they're private platforms, right? Technically,
they can do whatever they
choose
want.
what they want. You can, lay in bed with whichever scumbag you choose. I guess because I assume, in my mind, Russell Brand, I never thought that he didn't do this stuff. It's like I said.
No, yeah.
It's like I
Listen
said to
what
Krissy,
he said. He's obviously fucking done it.
Like, I guess, like Keith Richards, fucking everyone from like a 60s band and a 70s hair metal band is probably got huge amount of skeletons in their closet. You fucking name it.
Well, and the thing
Mick Jagger, Steven Tyler, you kidding me? Gene Simmons?
And the thing is, too, people who are in positions of power sometimes misconstrue what's actual consent for, like, because, like, let's face it, sometimes you can't actually consent in these positions with people in high positions of power. Because, like, just because of the power imbalance, there will never be true consent from, like, me, the plebe, to the king, right?
Yeah, there's just
it's just like influence at some point.
Yeah, it's
and so when he's a really famous 34-year-old coming on to a 16-year-old, there's no like, and it's so weird that it's like technically the age of consent in the UK. But it's like, that's like there's no real fucking consent in that situation.
Yeah, like we shouldn't strive to be the society of technicalities. Like, you shouldn't eat that, it's rotten. Well, it's only kind of rotten. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, you shouldn't strive to be just above what's considered the bare minimum of legality. That makes you a dirtbag, typically. But I honestly am curious to see how it plays out, because like you look at things like Bill Cosby and
everyone he assaulted
and Kevin Spacey. Bill Cosby got let out of jail because I guess I can't remember what it was, some technicality or something, and Kevin Spacey was found innocent.
Yeah.
So
well, and there was also that radio host something Gomeshi here in Canada. I think it's look up Gomeshi, GHO Meshi, Jian Gomeshi, yeah. So he was accused here in Canada of like very kind of similar stuff.
It says it right in the title of this article.
Yeah, to the Gomeshi case. And part of the only reason he got off is because there was kind of like group chats between like the women that were accusing him, where they were basically like, yeah, let's band together, we're gonna get him. And so they were able to like use that in court as evidence against these women of basically like plotting against Gomeshi. I don't view it that way at all. I view that as a group of victims coming together and being like, we're gonna exert our we're like fuck him, he hurt us long enough, let's fucking deal with this shit.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that that was used against them in the way that he got off the fucking hook.
Yeah, it's I am glad that I don't have to decide what is and isn't appropriate sometimes, because like say YouTube, for example, they restricted Russell Brand's ability to make money, but that I Show Speed flopped his dink out in front of a bunch of kids, and they were like, no, it was an accident.
Whoopsie dudes.
So I don't know what's more harmful to people. I don't know what's right. Yeah. I don't know what, you know what I mean? It sucks to live in that world where not that there should be a gray zone, but things are becoming so rigidly defined. So much so we treat people like the plastic products we buy, and we say, you had your chance, you broke, I want something else. Torch me below. Well, poopy indeed. Speaking of poopy, imagine
poopy.
If the people that supported you were Elon Musk, Ben Shapiro, and Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I would probably be like, you know what? That's not a good look.
YouTube won't allow my Twitch name. Do we know you from Twitch?
YouTube won't allow my Twitch name. What could your Twitch name be that is better or worse than Torch Me Below?
Fabosaurus!
I'm surprised it doesn't allow it.
I love how we're just like so sus about you until we find out that it's like, oh, it's Fab. We're like, hi, poopy, Torch Me Below.
I am glad to see you, my friend. I didn't think that we'd be graced by the wonderful Fapster.
It's been so long, Fap.
Hope you're well. So just a couple other things here. Twittersaurus Rex is removing. We don't use Twitter. I mean X. Whatever.
I used to use Twitter, and then I deleted it. Basically, the day it announced that it was going to become X. I was like, "Fuck."
But
this shit.
I was reading about this. So they got rid of the ability to not block people. Was it block people? Yeah, I think you can't block people now.
Yeah.
And the last bastion of people having, like, say, their own curated list of things was this circles feature, apparently, which allows you to, have people in your circle. So say you don't want to see all of the...
He just doesn't want you to be in control of your own feed whatsoever.
Exactly. And because since he spent $44 billion on it, he realized, oh shit, people don't think I'm funny. Yeah. A bunch of people have me blocked. If people can curate their feed, no one's going to look at my shit because I'm a shit disturber.
I just want to be the biggest meme lord that ever memed.
Yeah, it's like basically he is treating Twitter like a house party where the wallpaper is pictures of him. So no matter where you look, you have to look at him.
And if you don't like looking at him, then you have to leave.
And it's like, bro, you can't...
I left.
You can't buy friends.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick your nickname.
But, he is buying and choosing his friends, and they're all Nazis.
Yeah, your nickname is not X. It's Felon Nuts. But, so, I just thought it was just another interesting way that they say that, advertisers are basically running as fast as they possibly can in the opposite direction of Twitter. Or hate speech and discrimination is up like 80% or 800%. I can't remember the article I just seen. And it's kind of like, it's, I don't know, the wild, wild west.
The internet has become like so sad.
Yeah.
It's become really sad. I remember when the internet used to be a lot of fun. Like when I was a kid, remember ICQ and all the like the fun noises ICQ made, and you could make it whatever colors you wanted. And then we all had fucking MySpace pages, and you could edit that HTML code to make your page look however you wanted, and you could have your top friends, and it was all a good fun time, and we're all just kind of doing our own things, discovering ourselves on the internet. And now it's owned by corporations, and it fucking sucks. It sucks so hard now.
Sometimes places like Kik are figuring it out the hard way.
Oh, is this the one where they were trying to...
Yeah, so on Kik, I mean, basically people are pushing the envelope to find out how far they can go before they get banned. Because basically, once Kik has to start implementing rules, they have to start enforcing them, right? So this, in Australia, prostitution is legal, if you didn't know this. So this
is great.
Streamer, Ice Poseidon, who has, I believe, been banned on every other streaming platform, paid a man to hire an escort so they could set up secret cameras and film it live to their audience.
Yeah.
And the only reason that it stopped is because she left. The escort was like...
She was getting... I don't know who, but she was getting text messages from someone saying, like, you're being set up.
You're being set up. This is on a stream.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of there. And this is... I don't want to show this. It's weird.
Yeah, because he tries to, like, block her from leaving at some point.
So when she goes to leave...
It's uncomfortable
He
to
blocks the
watch.
door and goes, well, I gave you $500. And she's like, fuck you or something, and leaves. And then this Ice Poseidon comes in. He goes, oh, you shouldn't have done that. I was about to bust in and stop it or whatever. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Because it's like, bro, you can't fucking allow this shit on the internet that has, you know, basically very poor age verification so kids can watch stuff like this and gamble at stake.com. One of the CEOs of Kik and stake.com
was in the chat, gifting subscriptions, sending emojis, fucking like it gets sick.
So then of course people are like, what the hell is going on here? You can't do this.
And for the record, we are very pro sex work, pro legal sex work. I mean, not to say that I'm anti-illegal sex work. It's just it would be better, more safe for everyone if it was legal. That's what I'm trying to say. If it was legal and regulated,
yeah,
it would be safe for everyone.
So it blows my mind. Because now they're talking about, oh well, you know, we will be having some changes come out in regards to our policies. It's like, oh really? You paid XQC $100 million. And then they had to shadow ban him on their own platform because he was playing Batman: The Dark Knight in its totality and something else he streamed in its totality. And the moderators were like, bro, you've streamed here twice and you've done two exceedingly illegal things. Yeah. But, you know, it's just weird shit, bro. Just weird shit, bro. So the other thing is, you know, what if you did have some good ideas and they were just taken by AI? Because,
you know what? In regards to George R.R. Martin, at least AI will fucking finish like A Song of Ice and Fire before he ever fucking does.
Yeah, at least AI will figure out what's west of Westeros, for fuck's sakes.
George R.R. Martin can fucking suck on the dick of AI, because in regards to him, yes, please take his fucking work and finish the book. I'm fucking sick and tired of the fact that I've been waiting. Like, I finished reading all of the books long before we ever even started dating, Evan.
Oh, really?
I showed up in our relationship with all of the books.
That's
I moved
true.
in with all the books, and I was like, I read all of this. It was a great time.
Would you mind grabbing that pop from the
Yeah, for sure, okay.
My mouth. I have dry mouth. George Martin. So 17 authors, including John Grisham, Jodi Picoult, and George Martin have filed.
I love those books, but fuck, he pisses me off so much.
They filed papers to sue OpenAI because of flagrant and harmful infringements of registered copyrights, and they call it a massive commercial enterprise reliant upon systematic theft on a mass scale. Starts reading Warhammer 40K.
You'll never run out of books.
I used to love I know it was always too complicated for me.
Warhammer?
Yeah, growing up, because I just wanted the figurines, but you couldn't buy them from the comic book store without the guy asking you like, "Oh, you got like a fucking?"
And you're like, "I'm not this."
You got a blood warrior.
I can't nerd this hard.
It's like, bro, I'm like 6. Just sell me this cool little figurine, and so I can tell my friends that I have a Warhammer
Sir,
toy.
please let me leave the store. I can't nerd with you this hard.
You cannot buy this unless you know. Ooh, it's Mister. I was talking like Yoda, but I was doing a Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, it was weird.
Sorry. I am sorry.
It's fine.
We got 3 more quick little thingies.
Okay. Some Lauren Boobert news?
Yeah, just to touch on the Boobert. Also, if you're in Colorado, maybe make sure you vote next time.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Basically, I just thought it was funny that the dick groper, booby gropers in the Child musical has come out saying that she dumped that guy. She doesn't go on second dates because he, I don't know, was a Democrat, not because he was looking for booby sweat.
I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't look like a very pleasurable motion to me.
She said, he's a wonderful man. It was a great time.
Oh.
He's a private citizen, but we have peacefully parted this time.
At this time.
Like, she's apparently been seeing him for months, and this is what did it. And basically, all future date nights have been canceled, and I learned to check party affiliations before you go on a date, but it was mostly a lovely time. I like grabbed his dick at a musical, and like he was like looking for my superfluous third nipple. I just thought it was funny. Like, it's fine to be a single woman or man dating people in Congress, but like maybe don't fucking go to a child's play and do stuff like that when you try to promote the opposite values.
Also, like, vaping around a pregnant lady who asks you, like, multiple times, "Can you please not do that? I'm pregnant."
I'm pregnant. This, I thought, I didn't really read it fully, but I thought you might find it interesting, my dear. Archaeologists found a 500,000-year-old never seen before wooden structure in Zambia. So apparently it's very Lincoln log-like. Like how basically they're surprised to see that people were building in that same way so long ago, because it was kind of, like they call it like a Lincoln log thing.
Yeah, well, 500,000 years ago, it would be closer to, because there was 2 mass migrations out of Africa of like human population, and I think that would have been closer to the first mass migration. Yeah,
it looks like they've said, I mean, it might be a little early to say this part, that they use their intelligence, imagination, and skills to create something they'd never seen before that had never previously existed. We don't know that. Yeah. They could find one that's like 550,000 years old.
If it's built out of wood, it might not necessarily exist. Like, depending on the preservation around it, it might not necessarily like exist forever in the archaeological record.
Yeah, that's true. It's wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting that It's like every so often, like they'll find Göbekli Tepe, and then I know it mentions it here, Iraq.
Oh yeah, there's
They
lots
found
of...
they found an even older place, and now this one's in Zambia.
Yeah.
So
well, Zambia is in Africa, so it'd be like where closer to, because I don't know exactly where in Africa it was that like humans originated. But I mean, Zambia is in Africa. It's closer than like, you know, England.
Yeah. Yeah, at least they're not like, oh yeah, people actually started in Utah, Salt Lake City, Utah. But this is the last one, and I find it disturbing. I don't know why. But in Japan,
does it regrow enamel?
No, it
Just
regrows
whole
an entire tooth. So the first thing that I thought of was like,
I know. I feel.
What was that one show? I can't remember.
I remember there's the movie Darkness Falls, and that movie scared the absolute shit out of me.
This is what it reminds me of.
Oh.
It was on this show. I can't remember what the fuck that show is called.
Candle Cove.
I don't think that's
It says why the
Channel Zero.
Oh.
And this is the Tooth Fairy, and then they walk around. But that's what I see in my head when I think of this. So this particular Japanese pharmaceutical startup, I find this interesting. It is interesting. I mean, because there's a lot of animals, like say, they're looking at how to rebuild cartilage from lizards that can regrow their tails.
Or like beavers' teeth constantly grow.
Yeah. So basically what these people found out is that when they introduce... this person's been working on it since they were a grad student. Where the hell is it called? This antibody, if you stimulate it in the body, it will cause the teeth to keep growing.
I mean,
so this is in a mouse.
An interesting way to deal with like dental hygiene. If like, you know, you have a tooth that has a cavity, instead of fixing that tooth, you like stimulate whatever gene so the tooth falls out and you grow a new one.
It's kind of crazy, to be honest.
But then also, which is worse? Getting like dental work where they're dealing with like, or constantly fucking teething.
Forever teething.
Because I don't know if you remember losing teeth, but I remember losing teeth. And it wasn't my favorite thing. I do recall like tying them to a string to the door a lot. I don't know why I did it, because it scared me.
I don't know in this picture which is the before and after. They look significantly different.
So that would be when it's regenerating new tooth right
here?
There. Yeah, because there's growth.
Gotcha.
Either way.
After successful tests on mice, the team went on to perform similarly positive trials on ferrets. Animals who have a similar dental pattern to humans? Ferrets.
Little ferrets.
The front teeth of the ferret treated with tooth regrow medicine.
That looks like cat teeth.
The medicine introduced the growth of an additional 7th tooth. That's what I'm talking about.
You're just gonna get random teeth.
You're gonna end up with like fucking like 50,000 teeth.
I don't just want random teeth.
You know what they're gonna start doing? They're gonna like have blobs of genetic material that just grow teeth.
Well, it'll be like so in the Mad Adam trilogy, where they have like blobs of like chicken breast that you can just like harvest chicken breast from, instead of actually killing chickens.
I don't like
but
it.
That for teeth.
I don't like it because
the feature's weird.
So like here's we all fuck around with our computers and our phones and stuff once in a while, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Now my phone's acting weird or my computer's acting weird. The human genome and structure is so far beyond what we can fully map out yet. Should we be going, hey, let's block this, enhance that, and block this?
Honestly,
you know what I'm saying?
Everyone if you are looking for a book series or an audio book to listen to, please listen to the Mad Adam trilogy. It is so good. It's strange, it's futuristic, has some weird... No, you spelled it right.
I thought so.
Yeah, or I guess that's it. Mad Adam. I've talked about this before. I love this book trilogy. Oryx and Crake is the first book. Year of the Flood is the second book, and then Mad Adam is the third book.
Am. And some of it's starting to come to fruition with the pigs.
Yeah, and this shit was first published in 2013 was the publishing date for the third book. But the first book, Oryx and Crake, came out in 2003. So it's like this shit's 20 years old.
There was something they just did with pigs.
And yeah, there's so much in this book trilogy that is like
genetically modified pig's heart transplanted into a person.
So in the book trilogy, a huge kind of plot point is like before the fall of humanity, they started doing like essentially kind of medical trials on pigs where they started to splice pig genes with human genes so that the organs inside of the pigs could be harvested to used in human organ transplant. And then after, since humanity has fallen in this book series, these pigs have got out on the loose. So like the few remaining humans that are left, that's like their like the main antagonist in the book series actually is like these human spliced hybrid pigs. Oh, they want to know how it's spelled.
Oh, I did show it.
And yeah, the first book in the series is Oryx and Crake. And it deals with this character named Jimmy, also known as Snowman or Jimmy the Snowman. And Jimmy was really good friends with this guy named Crake.
Which is the first book?
Oryx and Crake is the first book. And so the first book is kind of all from the perspective of Jimmy the Snowman.
Oh, Jimmy the Snowman.
And he talks about basically like how society itself fell. Like there was this huge sickness that killed off almost like everyone, because he thinks he's the only person left except for these like group of specially lab created humans that Oryx and Crake created in a lab right to the fall of humanity.
Deadweight just got it on Audible. I was going to say,
excited for you.
If Deadweight doesn't listen to the audio book, he's not gonna get it when we go,
snowman. We say that to each other all the time now. We're
Jimmy.
Like, snowman.
Yeah, it's just weird things that people do.
Snowman.
Sometimes you just gotta have those margaritas and act a little strange.
But I think they are making it into a TV series, which I'm really, really excited about. Yeah, the main, the main overall antagonist, because it goes back and forth between like present and past a lot, and so the main antagonist in like the present is these like genetically engineered pigs.
Yeah,
and the main like antagonist in the past is Crake. And then also, like the whole kind of company that he works for. Yeah. And then like there's also like the religion itself that also people are involved in, like that gardener religion. Yeah, it's also kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like a futuristic.
It's so good. It's good. It's so good.
It was also nice to do a little stream today.
Yeah.
Get back into it. It's been a while. Look weird without glasses.
You look weird.
It was lovely to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out.
Yes.
Things we did on rats, rabbits, and mice, they do on humans. Scary. Yeah. That's
why I say, like, everyone should listen to the Mad Adam trilogy. It will, like I said, it came out in 2003 is when the first book, Oryx and Crake, came out. And there's just so much shit. I remember reading that when I was in high school and being like, whoa, this is so fucking crazy. I can't imagine any of this shit ever happening. And like not even 20 years later, so much of the shit in this book has happened.
I just want an exosuit that will make it move, like support my joints and stuff so I don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. They don't care about that. They'd rather figure out how I can grow teeth out of my fucking
What if you
spleen.
What if you grow a vagina dentata?
That could happen.
Oh my god,
They'll
that'd
be
the
like,
worst.
the problem is it stimulates tooth growth in the sashi.
That's how vagina dentata becomes a real thing.
Prequel.
Yeah.
Prequel.
Yeah.
We're gonna write a prequel to the movie Teeth. It's called Teething. Just kidding.
Teething.
Thank you for being here. Give somebody that you don't know a thumbs up and a creepy smile, and just walk away. That's the best way to be.
Yeah, just be nice to people. That's good.
Just
That's
walk
a good
away.
thing. Yeah.
Don't say anything to them for like ever. If they talk to you, just go like this. Take care, everybody. We will see you soon.
Bye. Bye.